Hello my dear friends, welcome to this tutorial. Let's say you have a website and you want to get alert from everything is going on your website. For example, someone contact you and you want to know someone contact you. For that reason you need notification system. So this is the most easiest notification system we made with jQuery and PHP. As you can see, at the moment we doesn't have any notification, but if someone come and do something on your website and post a notification, and immediately without loading the page, because as you can see, it show up there is one notification. And if you click at that notification button, after a few seconds the notification number is again 0, which means we have clicked on the notification button. And this is the notification which someone has been contacted. And as you can see, the color is green, but if I click to view this notification, and it says notification has been seen. If I come back, as you can see, the color is changed, which means we have seen this notification. If I post another notification, and after a few seconds we will have another notification. As you can see, if you have multiple notifications, the number will increase. Now we have 2 notifications and the number will show up, as you can see. And if I click, this is the notification I have seen, and these two are the notification I didn't see yet. So you can use this system to apply it on your website, and this is really useful, and I will create it on a most easiest and understandable way. So let's create this application. First of all, I go to my project folder and I create a folder. I call it notification system, and I open the Visual Studio Code and drag and drop this notification system into it. The first file I have to create is called db.php. First of all, I have to create the database connection. So for that reason, I use PHP, and I use PDO for the database connection. So I make a class and I call it connect, and I want to extend this class to PDO. This is just connection for the database. So I make another public function, and I call it construct. And this is the construction of our function. Inside this function I say parent okay. Have made the database connection. My database is SQL. This is the local host, the host name, my database name, and username and password. We have made a connection with the database, and this is my table name, notifications. This is my table name which I already created. You just go to your PHP admin and you have to create a table, call it notification, but you can call it whatever you want. Inside this notification you make a table with 9 elements, an ID which is auto increment, a notification user unique ID, which means this is which user, if your website have a registration system and if your user register, this is the ID of that specific user, so you understand which user posts this notification. This is the notification state, which is this number, which is collect or not, this notification date, and this we have a notification type, which means if you have multiple things on your website, like for example contact, orders, purchase, so you can get to know where this notification come from. And then we have notification URL, so we could understand where it should go. So example, if you come here, if you see, if I click this one, it will go to this URL, and if it's from something else, for example from an order of product, it will go to that specific page, and that's for that. Then we have notification unique ID. This is a unique ID for the notification itself, and so if you want to delete a notification, we use this unique ID to delete it. Then we have notification table. For example, if I want to this notification come from the contact. So if I want to fetch another thing from the contact table, I have the table name, so I can use uh, that to fetch another element from that database, that table. And then we have notification seen, which means our notification has been seen or not. If it's seen, the color will be changed. That's a simple uh, table for our notification systems. So I make it clear, and we have an empty table. Now, and that's my table name, which I store it inside this variable table notification. I save this one. Our database connection has been done. Now let's test to see if it really works or not. So I go to my projects and notification system DB, and yeah, it works. Okay, the second thing I have to make is to fetch the elements, fetch the notifications. Okay, so I make a file called fetch.php, and I use PHP, and I want to require my database connection. So require once db.php, this database. And after that, I make a connection with that database. If you come here, it is the class name is connect. So I make a variable called db. This is equal to new connect. And then I want to store every data inside an array called data. And to fetch the element, I make a variable. I call it notification, and this is equal to db, and from db I want to prepare, and I want to select everything from my table name, which is this one, table notification. First of all, I make it global, and I call it here from table notification, and I want to order everything by id, and I want to disorder them, and I give them a limit of 10. And once that is done, I want to execute this one. So notification execute, it will execute this one. And after that, I want to count how many notification is there. So I say number of notification. I just add another n in here, and maybe make it a big N, number of notification, and this is equal to, from the notifications, I wanna row count. This will count if how many row is there. Okay, I think there's some problem. Row count, it must be correct. I don't know why it gives error. Okay, and this is my notification numbers, and after that I want to check if my notification number, remember this is not the notification, okay, there is one more in notification number. I can also do it like this to make it more understandable. So if notification number, which shows how many notification is there, if this is bigger than 0, which means there is something. If no, there's not a notification there. Okay, there's a problem. Now I got it. Here I have to put an arrow. Okay, if notification is bigger than 0, which means there's a notification. Now I wanna fetch the notifications, fetch the number of notifications. Okay, so how you can do that? I make a variable, call it n number, and this is equal to from db. I want to prepare, and I say select everything from table. This table, let's just copy its name, table notifications, where, okay, I'm here, where, why do like this, okay, where where as you saw here, okay, I think there's a problem with my mouse. Okay, yeah. Okay, as you can saw here, I have a table column called notification status, so which means if it is active or not. So we use that one where notification status is equal to active, order by ID is. So if the notification is active, we will get the number. If it is not active, we will not count that number on the notification. And I want to execute this one, number of notification, and I want to execute this one. After that, I use the same number, notification number, and this equal to, I want to count its rows. So in number, okay, maybe call it numbers this time, and this is equal to row count. And we what we want to do, we want to push this one to the array of data. So we use a function called array push, this function. Inside this one, we want to push a data into this data array, so we call its name, and then we say it's an object. It's an object, and our object name is key is total, and this is equal to the number of notifications, this numbers, which is this one. It will count how many notifications are active, and this is the exact number of that one. Okay, and after that, because here we fish the notification, we have to loop through them, so we use while our notification is, we made this variable called notification, and this equal to $notifications, and from this notification, this one, okay, this notifications which we already executed, I wanna fetch, and I use PDO and fetch a sock. And now we can fetch every data from this database. What's wrong here? Okay, we have to put this one here. Okay, after that, I want to store everything again inside this data array. So how you can do that? We just call that array is equal to our notifications, $notification, this one. Okay, and after that, I wanna, so now everything is stored inside this data array. So all I'm gonna do is to echo that data, but I wanna echo this one, but before that I wanna convert it to JSON. So use JSON encode. Inside this one I put my data, and it will convert everything into an JSON format. So now let's see how it looks like. Our file is called fetch. If I go to fetch, as you can see, it shows our notifications. We don't have anything at the moment. If I go to my local host and I'm gonna add something, for example, I put a dummy thing here. Okay, I just put a dummy thing, and if I come here and refresh, as you can see, it shows our data into an JSON format. So I'm going to delete this one, So our fetch part is completed. Okay, now we come back to our visual code, but there's one more thing I have to tell you guys. Okay, before doing that, if you want to do multiple things inside this fetch.php, it will mess up everything. So we use something called key. So if the key is equal to this one, fetch this one. If the key is to something else, fetch another thing. And that's really easy and make our job much easier. So I say if is set, and I say if is set is post, and it's called key, and dollar post key, and this key is equal to, for example, 1 2 3. This is your key number, and put everything inside this. Okay, take up everything and I put it inside here, just like that. So it will not be displayed. If I refresh, there's nothing. But whenever from another page I post something, a variable called key with the key number of 1 2 3, it will fetch this one. Okay, so I do that because I want to do one more thing inside this fetch.php, and that is to fetch the fetch elements which are not active. Okay, so I use again this same exact thing. If it's a key in keys, for example, this one, this time this equal to 1 2 3 4. And now what I want to do, I want to make a variable, I call it count active notification. It will count me how many notifications are active. And from database I want to prepare, and I say update table name, just copy its name and paste it here. Update from this table, set notification status to inactive, where notification status is equal to active. So what it does, whenever we've watched whenever we seen a notification, we have to change it as active state to inactive, and this is exactly what we do. Now I want to execute this one. Execute, and that's it. And I also want to do one more thing, and that is, just copy this one, and this time I say I put this one here. If it is not set, and let's remove this one, and empty, and key is empty. Okay, it means if there's nothing called key and the key is also empty, or the key is empty, what I want to do, I don't want to fetch anything, I just want to give it an error, and I say API error, and just like that. This also a kind of API, and if I refresh, you see nothing is fetched, and it gives me this error, and that's exactly which we want. And from the index we send this key with its value to do things. Okay, fetch is completed. Now what I want to do is I want to create the index.php. Inside this one, what I want to do is to create the basic HTML5 structure, and I call it notification system, and here I use PHP to require things which later we're gonna do. Inside this body tag, what I want to do is to create a file, something. So I make a div with a class of nf notification, all of notification. Inside this div I make another div, and this is for notification area, so I call it nf area. And inside this notification area I make a button, and I give it a class of btn noti, and I give it an ID and notification btn. This is that notification button. Okay, at the moment I can just call it notification, then we use some icon here, and after that I make a span, and we can span with the ID of nfn notification numbers, and I put it 0. This is where it shows the notification numbers. Okay, and then I'm going to make another div with the class of notification message. This is it will display that notification message, and default is nothing, and I also gave it an ID of notifications. I want to display notifications in here. Okay, but there's one good thing we can do. I copy this one, everything, and I make another file. I call it functions.php, and inside this functions.php, what I want to do, I want to first of all require our database db.php. I do this because I could be able to use this notification system everywhere on my website. So I make a function, call it notifications. Inside this notification, I want to echo everything in here. Okay, I just put everything inside this notification function. So whenever I call notification, it will echo this line of code for me, and save. So inside my index, I want to require my functions, functions.php, and now all I need to do is to just say functions.php. So I make a PHP and I say notifications, the function name. Okay, and that's it. It will display that thing for me. Let's test it. Let's see if it works. Go back, and there it is. I have the button, I have the notification numbers, and I have that notification message. Okay, let's give it some design. So I make a file, I call it Style.css, and I want to link this one to my index. Style.css, and I put this style. First of all, I change the background color to kind of black, and then I select this notification. Where it is? Let me open the functions. This notification of all, this class, which everything is inside this one. I select that one, and I change the position to relative. Then I select the notification button. This, where it is, button notification, this one, btn notification, and I change its position to relative. I give it a z-index of 2, so it is more to us. I give the padding, a border, a background color, a color, and change the font size, and I change border radius, and I give it some margin. And after that, I also give it a hover. Whenever we hover on the button, I change the color, and then I select the notification message, which is this one, which display the message, and I give it some design, and I change the position to absolute, so I can position it wherever I want. I give it some border, padding, border radius, and etc. And after that, I select this notification number, and I change its position to absolute, so I can move it to wherever you want. So I move it here, I change this color, z-index, and I give it background color, border radius, I give it some weight, height, text, I align the text in the center, and things like that. And after that, I also made a media max weight of 870 pixel. So whenever we open on the mobile, it changes design. What it changed? It changed the notification message position somewhere else. Let's save this one and refresh. Let's see how it looks. Okay, it looks like this because we didn't use an icon. I use a text. So now let's use an icon for our button. So I go to my index, and all I want to do is to include this library. I posted the CD in a Bootstrap and jQuery. You just Google for Bootstrap and jQuery CD, and you copy the link and paste it here. And then I go to my notification inside my functions. I go to inside this notification function, and instead of this notification text, I use this bell. Let's save and see how it looks. Okay, why doesn't display? Let me check. Okay, also must include the icons. So I search for Bootstrap icons and I include this one as well. And let's save and refresh, and there it is. As you can see. Okay, and this is our awesome thing, but I think there is a problem. Let me go to functions. Let me go to functions and check my notification message. This one, this nothing, and it has a class of nf message, id of notification. Okay, everything is okay, there's no problem. But this is, we don't have a notification here, and that's time to create the notifications. Okay, how are you gonna do that? I go to index, my index page. Inside this index page, I create a file. I call it App.js, and I want to link this one to my HTML page. So I script, call it App.js, and everything will happen here inside this App.js. Okay, so I come to my App.js, and in here I use jQuery because I have already linked this jQuery CDN there. I can use jQuery. Okay, to use jQuery, $document.ready, and then a function, and inside this function I can run everything. Whenever the page is loaded, it will run everything which is inside here. So I make a function, I call it show notifications, and I want to run this function whenever the page is loaded, just like that. And not just that, I want to run this one every 5 seconds. So I use set interval. Inside this one, I call my function name, and I give the time 5. This in milliseconds, so 5000 mean 5 seconds. So it will run this function every 5 seconds. Okay, this is the function. Okay, so what is this show notification? Let's create this show notification. Inside this show notification, I use Ajax to fetch data from our fetch.php. I use Ajax. Inside this one, I first say the type. If you don't know what is Ajax and etc., there is a tutorial on my channel. I will put the link in the description. You can watch. I said the type is post, and the URL. The URL is that this file fetch.php, and after that, as you remember, inside this fetch I said I have a key. If the key is equal to this number, it will run this and that, and this is where we use it. We want to send some data, and I want to send a data, and I say I want to send key, and my key is 123. This number, and it will send a variable called key with this 123 value. And if I send another key, it will doesn't do that thing. Okay, and after that I just want to send one thing, and after data I want to catch is false, and I want to, if there is success function, I want to get data. And just like that. Okay, our scene notification function has been done, our show notification, sorry. Okay, what else I want to do? Whenever we got the data, we can play with that data. So first I make a variable. Okay, maybe I make it here. I make a variable, I call it data, and I want to convert the data from JSON. So I use JSON because the data is JSON. As you remember, we echo that one as JSON. So JSON parse the data, this data. Okay, and after that I store this data into another variable. I call it content data, this equal to data. Okay, that's lots of thing. Okay, after that, first of all, I want to empty everything in here. So I select my notification with the ID, this notification with ID, and then I say HTML, and this is emptied. So it will empty this one for us. If you refresh, you see it's empty now. And after that, I want to check if there is something inside our content data or it's completely empty. If content data length is greater than 0, which means we have something. Now we have to fetch it. Okay, so to fetch, because we could have multiple items, we have multiple of notification, we have to use for loop. So I use for loop, instead of array length I want to use this one, content data length. Okay, so make a variable. If I come to my table, this is the elements we have. The first one is the unique ID, URL, and you can fetch whatever you want. So I make a variable. First of all, I want to get the URL, so I call notification URL, and this equal to, from this content data I want to select the first element. Okay, if you don't know what we are doing, let me first of all console.log this content data, so you can see what we have inside it. If I refresh and I come to inspect, as you can see we have an array with a length of 0. There's nothing at the moment. So I'm going to add something into my notification. This from already made, so I use that one because the table is the same. So I come here and I refresh, and now as you can see we have something. This is the length, there is one, we have something inside this one, and the first element, this is the one. If we have another, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just like that. I used 1 instead of 0 because inside the fetch we push two files. The first one is the total and the second one is the notifications. For that reason we use 1 instead of 0 because the 1 is the total. Okay, and there as you can see we have this notification data, scene, state, and etc. And we can fetch through all of them to fetch all the notification. For that reason we use this for loop. So we first say notification URL. So from content data I want to select the element with this number which already have is I, which is 1 2 3 4. It will add up how much it is. And then from this one I want to get this notification date. Okay, just like that. And I'll make another one. Let's see what is the second. Notification scene, notification scene, and this is equal to content data I and notification scene. Let me just copy this one and paste it a few times, and then I did it 1 2 3 4 5 6 times. And then we have notification status, and I use that one. And then I have this notification table, and then I have this notification type, and then I have this notification unique ID, and then I have notification URL. I got the URL, notification user unique ID. Okay, this is date, so this is date. I need the URL again, and there we go. We have fetched everything and stored them inside these variables. And then, as I told you, we could have notification from multiple spaces. So I want to check if notification type is equal to contact. I want to change the notification type equal to you have a new message. And you can just copy this one and say if this is from orders, you have a new order, and do things like that. Okay, and after that I also want to check if notification scene is equal to, if it is unseen, which is the default, I want to change the notification scene to, this is where you can change the background color of that notification. So because I use bootstrap, I use success, which means this is not seen yet, and else if it is seen, I want to change this notification scene to dark, and you will see what is this in a moment. Okay, and after that I want to make another variable. I call it result def, and this is equal to, I use backtick and put everything my HTML code in here. Okay, and here what I want to do, I want to create a tag element, and I say it redirect to that notification URL, and okay, whenever I click on a notification, it will redirect me into a page. Okay, don't worry about this. It will redirect me to a page called contact.php. Then we have this notification with notification unique ID. Okay, so I say notification, and why we have that? Because we could, whenever we go to this URL, it will update the state and say we have seen this notification, and this one is equal to $, and the notification unique ID. This is where the unique ID is important for the notification unique ID. Okay, it's a long tutorial. Okay, then we have another div with a class of alert, and this is where we can change the alert style, and whenever it is whenever if we didn't see the notification, we use this notification scene, so it automatically recognizes if it is seen or unseen. You just put its name here. Okay, notification. Okay, notification scene. So whenever if we seen the notification, it will change the class to dark. If not, it will change the class to success. Okay, then we have the rule. This is alert. And we have a title. The title is notification date. Okay, and inside this div I have the notification type, which will display this message for us, and we close our div, and we also close our a tag. Okay, and now I want to append this result div to the notification. So I say I want to select my notification with the class with ID of this notifications, and I want to append this result div to it. And I also want to select the notification numbers. Notification number, this one, this notification number. Okay, this number. And I want to change its HTML content. So from the content data, I use the 0 number. If you remember, the 0 is the total. 0, and from 0 I want to use total. So it will show the total number inside this notification number. Okay, let's save and refresh. And as you can see, we have the notification here. If you post another notification from our old system, if I put another notification, you see we have another notification with the number. As you can see, this number, it means we have one notification. Okay, because we already seen the notification from this old one, that's why it's 1, or otherwise it was 2. Okay, no problem. Let's come back here, and if there's something, it will do this. But if there's nothing inside this, if there's nothing, I want to put an error, call it function. I think we are on the wrong location. Okay, so we have append everything in here, and after that, okay, if there's nothing inside our content data, I want to select this notification, and I want to change this HTML to a P, paragraph, and say no notification. Close my tag. That's it. And this is from our regex. If there is not success, if there is any error, I want to put an error, and I say run a function. In this function, I have 3 elements: status. If you don't know these things, no worries. There's a great tutorial for each of this on my channel, you can watch. And I just want to put the console error, etc. Okay. Okay, what I want to do next. After this, we make another function, and this function is for seen, so which means we have seen this notification, seen notification. And this function we also use regex again, and then I say the type is same as before. The type is post the URL is fetch.php, the data is key, but this time I wanna update the scene, and for that reason inside the fetch we made this function to update the notification status from active to inactive, and we have the key number of 1 2 3 4, so use that exact key here. Okay, use that key here, and then we say catch false, and if this is success function with data. Now we don't want to do anything, and that's it. Okay, we have scene notification. Now where we use this scene notification, we come back to the top inside our document.ready. We first of all run our show notification to fetch the data, and then we fetch this we run this function every 5 seconds. I want to select this notification. I want to select the notification because if you come here, it's always display. I don't want to do that. I want to hide it. So I hide it. And now it doesn't show. But I want to show it whenever I click on that notification button. So I select that notification button, this button, and I say whenever I click into this one, it runs a function for me, and this function do what? I want to again select this notification, and I don't want to show it, but I want to toggle. So whenever I click again, it will hide it. Toggle. And I also want to run whenever I click into this button, this number should be gone, and I have to update the notification status. So I have to run this scene notification function also, just like that, and just like that. But I don't want to toggle whenever I click on. Okay, let's see what I want to do. Okay, let's save and refresh, and whenever I click, as you can see, it shows the notification, and after a few seconds the notification number has been updated. But if I click anywhere, I can't hide it. Whenever I click here, I can hide it. I can't hide it anywhere else. But I wanna, whenever on the screen I click, I could be able to hide this notification. How you can do that? That's also really easy. I select the HTML, which means select all the page, and whenever I click anywhere, it runs a function, and this function will hide this notification. So now, okay, but the problem is, even if I click on the element itself, on the button itself, I can't show it. So I have to prevent it from clicking in here. We can do that. I select my notification button, and I say whenever I click, it runs a function, and this function have a parameter of e, and I will use that e, and there is a function called stop propagation, and save. And now if I click, I can show, and whenever I click anywhere on the screen, I can hide this notification. I can also view notification itself. Okay, now we have everything, but the problem is whenever I click, there's nothing. I want to show up this notification and also update this state to scene. So whenever I click in this notification, the color should be changed. So if I click on this notification and go to a page called contact.php, so I create that page, contact.php. If you have multiple things, like for example products or mail, you have to do the same thing for all of them. Okay, so I go to my contact.php, and I say use PHP, and I want to require the functions.php, and after that I say if is set on the URL, I get what? So whenever I click onto one of notification, it go to this URL, and it has a parameter of notification. So if I have that notification, what I want to do, I want to create a variable. I call it unique ID, and this equal to $get that notification. It will store the value of this notification, this value, whatever it is, inside this notification. Okay, let's change this unique ID to a number, because it must be a number, not alphabet. So it will store that number inside this unique ID. But make sure you also have to use some function to prevent SQL injection. I just do it like this for now, but you have to do that also. Then I want to run a function. Okay, I can do things like update a notification table, but to make our job simpler, inside this function.php I make a function. So I go back to my function.php, and I create a function called scene notification. So I create a function and I call it function scene notification, and I pass something called unique ID, and I use db. It's a new connect, and I use global, the table notification. Where is the table name? I want to use this one, so I make it global. And after that I want to create a variable. I call it scene notification, and this equal to from database. I want to prepare, I want to update from this table notification, set the notification scene equal to scene from unseen. Unseen is the default, and where the notification unique ID is equal to this unique ID. This unique ID. It says it's not unknown. Connect. Okay, it's wrong. Connect. Okay. And then I want to execute this one. Execute. Okay, just like that. We have created this function. We pass this unique ID, and it will update the unseen into seen, where then unique ID is the same unique ID. So inside our contact, because this is whenever I click on a notification, this is the unique ID of the specific notification. So I want to update its state. So you can back to my contact, and now we can use that function. We doesn't need to write it again and again, because if you have multiple page, this is really messy. So use one function and use it again and again. So I say scene notification, and it says it has a variable of called unique ID, and we already stored that one from get. So we pass that to the function, and then I want to echo a message called notification has been seen. Okay, and let's also use a tag href, and it go to index.php, and I say back. Okay, let's save. Okay, what's the problem? Okay, this is the problem, and there you go. So now, as you can see, the color is green, but whenever I click on this notification, it says notification has been seen, and if I click back, okay, what's the problem? There's a problem. Okay, I don't know what's the problem, but it should update its state. Let me check. Seen notification. Okay, the function name is, I think it was wrong. Okay, now it's correct. Seen notification. Okay, let's refresh and I run this function. Come back. Let me see where is the problem. Okay, it's still like that. If I go to my app.js, and here, if the notification seen is not just equal, it's equal to unseen, then it's a success. It will put this class. Okay, if not, it will put the dark class. And now if I refresh, and as you can see, both of them are seen already. Let's put another new notification and come here. It says there's one new notification, and you see it's green. But if I click on this notification, some notification has been seen. If I come back, as you can see, it is kind of darker, which means our notification has been seen. So that's how the notification system works. On every page, you just save this notification name on your PHP and it will be displayed. You can use it wherever you want. If you want to change the style, you can also change the style. But if you want to know how we can post the notification, so let's create a page like this to post the notification. So I come to my code and I make a page, and I call my page post notification. Post notification.php. Inside this post notification, I create the basic HTML5 structure. I use the bootstrap library and I create the container. Inside this container, I create a form. And this form have two input. The first input is called type, and the second one is unique ID, and then there is a button. And I can and then what I want to do, and then I want to create a PHP file in here, PHP, open the PHP tag and close. Then I say if set post submit, which is my button name, submit. Whenever I click that button, I want to post this type with the name of type and also the unique ID, and store them inside these two variables. And I can post data directly from here, but let's make our job easier. Let's create a function inside my functions.php, so you can post it from anywhere. If you have a hard order page, product page, you can do it from everywhere you want. So I make a function, I call it post notification, and this has two parameters. The two parameters is really important. The type, which the type means from where this notification is from the contact page, include page, a contact page, product page, or wherever it is. And then the unique ID of your notification. This is also the same as unique ID of your product unique ID, your contact unique ID. So it will target our notification to exactly same as what it is. Okay, inside this post notification, first of all, just like before, I use these two, DB connection and table name, and after that, because we need date, so I make a new date, and I use a specific format of date, which is F, J, Y, and you can use any type you want, G, I, A. And then we have to check the type. Okay, if the type is equal to contact, so I make a variable called notification URL, and is equal to contact.php. So which means if this notification is from the contact, this is the contact page. If it's from product, you should change it to product.php. If it's from message, you can change it as what it is. Okay, and after that we also need to change the notification table. As I told you, if you want to fetch more data from this contact, we need this table name. So this is where the table name is, contact. If it's from message, we can use this message table name, so we could fetch the username, the profile picture, etc. You get the idea. And we also need the unique ID, the unique ID of the user. So if it's from product, someone ordered, someone has already been registered, and it has a unique ID, or if, for example, somebody messaged you, he has a ID, and that is the user ID you should put here. But in contact, it's not necessary, so we put a 0, which means it doesn't have a unique ID. The user doesn't have a unique ID. Okay, and then I want to insert these things into the database. So I say insert, and I use db equal to prepare it, and I say insert into the table name, which is this one, the table name, and set, let's put in a space in here because we want to post multiple things. So I want to set the notification user, let's see what it is, notification user unique ID. These names are from database, okay, and then the name from what you want. I also want to put it the same thing, okay, and comma the second one, which is the status, and this also equal to this one, and then we have the date. This also is the same exact thing, and we do for type, and then the URL, and then the notification unique ID, space, and then the notification table. Okay, and then the last one is notification C. Okay, and then we use insert. We want to execute this one. And inside this execute, you have to put the values, so I use an array. Inside this array, first of all, I say the user unique ID is equal to this one, so I use the exact same name here. Okay, we have to put this one here, and I must use this name here. And I say this is equal to, it will be equal to something, but we put it for a moment. I just copy this one and I want to paste it 7 more time, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and then I copy the second one, which is notification state, change, and then notification date, notification type, notification URL, notification unique ID, notification table, notification last seen. And now our notification user unique ID is equal to, we have already created the unique user ID. Our notification status, the default, it is active, okay, and our date is where it is, the date. Our type is the notification type, this one. The URL is notification URL. The notification unique ID is where it is, notification unique ID. Okay, this is the one we passed. There it is. we also pass the type and the unique ID. We only need these two things, the other things are default. Okay, and then we need the notification table, which is this one, and then the notification scene is the default is unseen, and just like that. But remember, if you have multiple items inside, multiple things, for example product, you have to make another one for product, for your message, and etc. But for now, make it easy, it's just for contact. Okay, make sure to put this one at the end. Okay, we come back to our post notification, and here we can use this function name, which is called post notification. But before that, we have to include the function require once the functions.php, and then if button is clicked, I can say post notification. It has to parameter the type, which is this $type, and then the unique ID, which is this unique ID. You can also echo message notification has been posted. Okay, I copy its name, and now if I come here, I have this much notification. Open this one into a new tab. Okay, not here. I have 3 notifications, you can see. But if I come here, I say contact, and I put a random notification. But remember, this notification will not be posted like this. Okay, you use this function inside your contact. Whenever you make a contact form, someone contact, you also post the type and unique ID inside this function. You don't make a form like this. Okay, remember that. So we have posted. We'll come here, I have one notification, and if I click, there's my notification with green color, and if I click to see it, and if I come back, it's same. So we are finally completed, and we are done. So I hope you guys, this was a really long tutorial, but this was what it is. So I hope you guys learned something and learn something from this tutorial. You have successfully made a notification system with PHP and jQuery. If you have any question, let me know at the comment below. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, and press the bell icon. Have a great time, my dear friends.